Good morning, Porch Chronicles. How y'all doing out there? So, I texted my son out the blue, I think yesterday, and I said, "How you doing? You good?" And he was like, "Yeah, why you ask that?" I said, "Let me explain something to you." I said, "I've noticed in the last week or two, I haven't heard much from you." Now, me and my son, especially when he started the healing journey right behind me, like we really was trying to heal and doing our inner work, he would have to talk to me on a daily basis and be like, "Ma this and ma that." And I used to be the same way. I used to be real bad before therapy when it came to talking to my mother. She had to hear everything. I had to whine, complain, cry. Whine, because I was still being the victim. I was being the victim, but I didn't know. So I said, he was at work, so I was just texting him. I said, he was like, "Why you say that?" I said, "Because I haven't heard from you lately. I can tell that you're really doing your inner work now." He was like, "Why you say that?" I said, "Let me explain to you what happens. When you really start doing your inner work, in the beginning, it's like being a child. And you have to ask a lot of questions because you're not sure of yourself. You're not sure of your intuition. You're not sure of, you know, because we're so used to working in that old part, that old mode of us, that we really think we need something and we need guidance. Oh, I am tan. I didn't know I was. Jeez. Look like I've been on somebody's beach, don't it? Anyway, so I said, "I noticed you being quiet," and that's a good thing because he's not having to reach out to me and be like, "Ma this and ma that." I said, "You're doing your inner work." I said, you're getting more peace and you're believing in yourself more for what you're doing." He was like, "I never even thought of that." I said, "Remember when you had to talk to me every day because you was unsure of this and unsure?" I said, "That's how it is in the beginning when you start healing because you're changing the program. Changing the program in your life is hard." He's in his 30s. Imagine how hard it was for me in my 50s. When you start accepting the new you, the one, because what you start doing is you sit there and you think about what's going on in your life and you go into yourself and you don't have to talk to anybody else about your business because you handle your business. You go in there and you fix, you heal, you cry, I said, you're doing the work now." And he was like, "I never even thought about that." I said, "I'm proud of you." I said, "You only will reach out to me now when you absolutely need it, and that's how it's supposed to be." I said, "You're learning yourself, you're learning your intuition, you're learning to trust yourself, you're doing the work." And he was like, I didn't even know that." I said, "I remember when I transferred over to really going into me. I kept to myself. I read my book, I prayed, and I listened to my intuition. And whenever something triggered me, I went back and figured out why it triggered me, and I went in and healed it." That's the work. It's not that hard, but you have to want to accept the change and the damage that you do have in your life when it occurs and when you find out what it is. I do encourage you, Porch Chronicles. The work is worth it. It may not seem like it in the beginning, but it is. And it will help you. When your children see you heal, they'll want to heal as well. I never knew this until it happened to me. And I appreciate the journey. I love you, Porch Chronicles.